The video is Leilu Nishmas Mushmu Bachim Chaim Tzidoiv. There's almost no words to describe the siyum hashas. Just breathtaking. You know, there's so many aspects. I just want to share with you just a few of them. A little bit of hashas. I wanted to do a video from there, but wasn't zeicher. I was sitting with my sons, 90,000 other brothers and sisters, mishpacha, the Shomrei Torah, people that united over one thing, being on the same page. Like I said yesterday, the level of unification is almost historic, and it makes sense why it only happens every 7.5 years. My son so cutely said, will it be warm next time? I guess if you calculate 7.5 years from now, it should be. But one aspect, I'll tell you, the Kiddush Hashem, I don't know who did it, who sent around the importance of smiling and saying thank you, but it was clear that it was done in a tremendous emphasis. And there were workers, someone showed me, a worker said she never saw anything like this in 7.5 years. These people that are working in MetLife, and they said, if I could do this again, it's amazing. What a Kiddush Hashem. And that's tiny in comparison to, I don't know if it's tiny because Kiddush Hashem is so major, but the Kiddush Hashem and the hashas that we must have given Hashem. One of the stories that someone said over the Brisker Rav, when someone came to Brisker Rav, this lady needed a bracha. Anyway, she came, and the thing was refuah for her son. So the Brisker Rav said, come back a little bit later. So she came back later, and right before she came, the Brisker Rav made a siyum. I'm sure he made quite a lot of siyum. And afterwards, after the siyum, he gave her a bracha, and she left. And his gabbai, or whatever, close Talmud, said, why did you tell to leave and come back? And he said, because the Brisker Rav said, because when you finish a maseches, there's such an incredible eis ratzon. It's a special time. So imagine you have 90,000 or whatever amount of people that all finished the siyum hashas. How much of an eis ratzon, what a powerful, and it was felt. Just the beginning, mincha. Davening mincha was it was higher than Yom Kippur. You know, they asked Reb Chaim Kanievsky for a bracha. His grandson asked him, the making a siyum hashas, etc. What does Reb Chaim have to say? So this is the classical Reb Chaim in his humor and sweetness and an amazing smile. He said, I give them a bracha that they should know Shas. They finish Shas, but they should know Shas. But in truth, it's an incredible accomplishment. Another thing that was beautifully said from the Zohar Kodesh, it says that, in fact, that this was Rabbi Daniel said from his grandfather, Aron, that he came to the Chafetz Chaim. Chafetz Chaim told him, every time, the Zohar says, every time you finish one Maseches, you inherit another world. But I'm going to stop for a second and just say, what was one thing that was missing? The rest of Klal Yisrael. And in my heart, it's actually painful. On the one hand, this is a most amazing unifying experience, and especially here that really there's no difference. You could be with your Peyas, Hasidic, breast, like I said, Mamish, any type, most amazing. You can have someone that's not even so Hasidic, breast, even modern, what they call modern today. Sometimes the modern person, modern meaning modern Orthodox, these terminologies are really terrible. But sometimes they could be more responsible and more schusim than anyone else. Here's an amazing, is that Shatzistin, Jay Shatzistin, and the whole mishpacha, what a schus do they have. And they're not coming from the most Litvish or Hasidic family. And he said an amazing thing. He said, the opportunities come your way. You just got to grab the opportunities. When opportunity comes, you can't even envision the result. But as Rav David Cohen actually said, he said that there is no doubt that art school, Shatzistin, you could call it art school, Shat, or whatever it is, they have such a hand in the global level of learning, and hence the unity. But I'll tell you the biggest, I don't know, it's hard to say, Health God also, wow. The Kel Malei Rachamim, I was frozen. It was frozen because it was a connection. It was being said for the 6 million Jews that we lost in the Holocaust. And that's words can't even describe that emotion. But the last thing I want to end off with is something that we have to take. When you go through such an experience, you gotta take it home. What's your takeaway? So there was a person by the name of Mendy Rosenberg. He has ALS, and he was diagnosed with ALS a little bit before the last siyum, 7.5 years ago. But he was at the siyum in MetLife 7.5 years ago, and he decided he's going to finish hashas. Little did he know what it's going to mean, that over the next few years, meaning past few years, he lost all movement, and the only thing he has, basically is the eye movement. And with the sophisticated, of course, computers that they have today, he was able to finish hashas, but not just finish hashas, review hashas, learn hashas, live hashas. And the miracle is usually even ALS is limited to 1 to 4 years, but someone, it seems clear, with daf, there's no limit. Join the daf.